Hello, I'm Jerry Hull, Brumfield Elementary School elementary teacher. Welcome to episode 2 of Science at Home with Mr. Hull. I make these videos to help parents and children do science at home with basic stuff that you might find around the house during a time when we're all kind of stuck at home. So please forward these videos to anyone you feel could use this help, and always remember to hit the subscribe bell on the bottom for my YouTube page to get more videos and my educational songs as well. Today's episode is on non-Newtonian fluids, and I have 2 lab assistants with me today. This is Liam and Julian. So they're going to help me out with making Ooblek today. So all matter, everything around us, is either a solid, a liquid, or a gas. The solids have a fixed or given shape, so their molecules are close together. They have a shape that doesn't change. Solids have a definite shape, a definite volume. It means they take up a certain amount of space, and a definite mass, which means we can tell how much matter is there. A liquid has no shape. Liquids take the shape of the container that you put them in. So if you pour them into something different, they're going to change shape. But they do have a definite mass and volume. So you can tell how much liquid you have and how much it weighs. A gas has no definite mass or volume and no definite shape. Gases will spread out to take the shape of the container that they're in. Balloon is a good example of that. But all these things are matter. So, you can play with it later. So, today we're going to talk about something that kind of breaks the rules a little bit. A liquid and a gas are both called fluids, and fluids flow. They take the shape of their container. Most fluids do not change how thick they are. They keep their thickness. But some fluids don't, and they're called non-Newtonian fluids. So there's some good examples of non-Newtonian fluids in our life. One of those is ketchup. All right, ketchup is a non-Newtonian fluid because, I'm going to put some in here. When you shake ketchup up, it changes thickness. You shake ketchup up a little bit, and it pours easier. No, maybe not. It pours easier. So if you shake a ketchup bottle up, it pours easier than if you don't. So ketchup, when it's put under pressure, becomes a little more liquidy. Now the other thing we have today is called Ooblek. I don't know who named it, but Ooblek has 2 ingredients which you can probably find around your house. One of those ingredients, of course, is water. So water comes out of your tap, just regular H2O. It's a compound of hydrogen and oxygen joined together into molecules. The other is called cornstarch, which is made from corn. So the reason you have this in your cupboard is because it helps to make gravy thicker. So when you have Easter dinner, you pour the gravy on there, it's real thick because somebody mixed this stuff into the cornstarch. This stuff has other powers too. So we're going to make some of this stuff, and it says it's about a 2-to-1 mixture. So about 2 parts cornstarch to 1 part water. So I'm going to take this half a cup here, and it doesn't have to be exact. Notice I'm not being real exact with it. There's a half cup of cornstarch.
Does it taste good?
No, cornstarch tastes really nasty. So here's another half cup of cornstarch, and now let's put about a half cup of water in here. And then you're going to have to stir it up, and you can always add more or less if you need it. So
Can I stir
it up. Go ahead, stir that up. It's actually really hard, Julian, so let me do it, and then I'm going to let you play with it, okay? That's not going to be enough water.
Is that Ooblek?
It is. It's not quite Ooblek yet. So I'm going to add a little more water. You want to keep adding it until it becomes more of a liquid. Now, Julian, what's your favorite color? What would you like to be in here? Bless you. Green. Okay, so you can always add a little bit of food coloring to make it interesting, but it's not necessary. Oh, this has come out really well. So I might need to add a little bit more water, and then the food coloring, as you can see. Oh,
the roast is done.
That's our dinner. I just said I was going to add more water, and then I added more Ooblek, or more cornstarch, so that's all right.
And
More the merrier.
Food coloring.
So if you have too much water, it becomes very, very liquidy, and then it won't work out as well as you hope. But I think this might come out just perfectly.
More green.
Yeah, probably. Julian, why don't you add a little more? Okay, go ahead. Add a little more green. Good. Okay. Food coloring is so concentrated that you don't need a whole lot. Alright, so this is coming out really well. Now, in fact, I think I'll need to add a little more cornstarch to it to make it perfect, because it got a little crazy with the water. So 2 to 1 is an estimate. It really depends on, you know, what it's coming out like. Alright, so this is coming out pretty well. These are the only 2 ingredients of this, unless you add food coloring, in which case you have 3 ingredients. Now this, liquids, as I said earlier, take the shape of their container. So if I pour a liquid into a container, it's going to take the shape of that container. So, watch.
Ew.
So do you guys think this is a liquid? What do you think, Liam? It's a liquid, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't have its own shape. It takes the shape of its container. So I can then pour it back in. See that? Oh, this stuff, by the way, it's messy, but it cleans up really easily.
This stuff is hard. when
So once you have this stuff, see how it just oozes out of there? This stuff is so cool that it becomes, because it's a non-Newtonian fluid, it changes, not yet, it changes how thick it is when it's put under pressure. The ketchup gets less thick. This stuff gets more thick. Just for a second, it becomes a solid. You put pressure on it, you squeeze it or punch it, and then when you stop putting pressure on it, it goes right back to being a liquid again.
Wow.
See that? So, boys, I'm going to ask you guys to go ahead and get your fist ready. So, hold on, get your fist ready. Now I want you to practice on your hand like this, So you're going to quit like this. Go ahead, Liam. No, with your fist. Okay. So, when I tell you, you're going to punch it. 1. Okay, Liam first. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh.
Julian, 1, 2, 3. All right, now dip your finger in there.
It's hard.
Oh, that's
You can dip your finger in there, yep. So, here, you guys can grab a handful of this stuff.
And take it. It's hard.
So, a non-Newtonian fluid breaks the rules of what a liquid is. It becomes a solid for a split second while you're putting pressure on it. And so you can make this stuff at home really easily. So go ahead and post some videos of you doing this, or some results, or make some comments on the video, and let's see how it turns out. Until next time, science is all around us.